Jay, join the party, man.
I was just looking at the comments.
He's looking at Playgirl right now. He's occupied.
Looking at those giant meaty dongs.
Anyway, welcome back, everybody, to Strongman Personal Finance. Don't forget to sign up for my Patreon, bro.
Did you start one?
I actually made a Patreon like a year ago, but I haven't like advertised it or done anything with it. I might shut it down. I don't know. I'm torn about Patreon.
My thing is this,
guys.
My thing is this.
Guys,
hold on.
I just did my first YouTube video, so please subscribe to my course. It's only $997.
It's only $999. But no, I mean, there's not like Tim Dillon. He's a comedian. He's got a Patreon. It's like $5 a month to sign up. I'm not going to say anything to anybody about that.
$200,000 a month.
Yeah, but it's
if I started a Patreon, I wouldn't do any extra services. It'd be like, all right, you want to freaking pay me? Okay, I'm not doing any extra crap. I don't have time.
Yeah, I would basically prefer to just sell merchandise because that gives people something.
Yeah, you mean like a Meet Kevin mugs?
All right, I will clothe myself.
Kevin mugs, tattooed truckers taint T-shirts.
I actually have some merchandise ideas, but I mean, I've just been so freaking busy. I've started tax season officially, so I mean, it's not that bad. I work like 10-hour days, but then I got to go to the gym, and then I got to drive home.
Yeah,
you're in traffic yesterday for an hour.
You're not going to be have free time.
Chris, I got a question for you.
Yes, Nathan.
Would you recommend H&R Block to do taxes? Are they okay?
I mean, yeah, they're fine. I mean, like, why don't you try to do your own? Like, just sign up for. Actually, if your income's below a certain level, you can file for free. You don't have to pay anybody. I mean, you have like a business, if you have like complicated taxes, okay, maybe. But if you just have a W-2, just freaking do it yourself. You can do it for free.
Okay, yeah.
Or you can pay if you pay me.
I got to figure out
$200.
But I'm sure if I ask you questions that I have.
Yeah, just
$997.
Yeah, how much course revenue have you made?
I always recommend to get a professional, man. But
it's a pretty low week for me. Only like 90. It's a pretty low week for me. Only like $97,000. I blew it all on tattoos, truckers, taint. So,
dude, I can't wait till that stock implodes so I can see Jeremy just freaking out, not knowing what happened as he has to go back to work at whatever gas station he worked at before.
Wasn't it Quick Trip or something?
Yeah, it was quick. It's something like that, dude. And then he had the epiphany. Oh, they're selling a lot of Monster drinks. Let me invest just on that.
Yeah, you look at Jeremy, you're like, what's his background? Like, how is he so good at stocks? He's like, oh, he worked at Walgreens, so that's why he bought Walgreens stock. And he's a gas station manager. So obviously it's worth paying him $20,000 to get a private portfolio consultation.
Dude, I just don't understand how whatever her name is there, the certified CPA accountant. I don't understand how she works for this ass clown. Like how can you sit there with the knowledge that you had to gain by becoming an accountant, listening to that moron talk?
Yeah, she's making a lot of money. It's as simple as that. I mean, I'm sure it's tempting because
money is a crazy thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if somebody offered you if you could make $300,000 in a year. I mean, it might be tempting to be like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Bobby, I heard you bought the dip on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we discussed that last time when it was at 300 that I was nibbling. Yeah. So I bought pretty much this entire week, Facebook, just averaging in.
Yeah, I think it's a steal.
I also bought some fractional shares of Facebook under to 35.
I'm
And
at
I got
my-
a question for you guys. Since we got a community that's interested in Facebook, I'm going to talk about them. So I'm going to give you some numbers, and you can make a decision after the live. And so if you guys want to make a video, then go ahead and analyze this stock. But I'm just going to give you some facts and numbers. I bought based on these facts. Probably it's just bedside money. I'm gambling for Facebook.
Well,
But,
I don't think Facebook's necessarily a gamble.
I don't know, but nothing is set in stone, so probably things can change. So the revenue is increased from 28 billion to 33 billion. That was expected, but then it goes south from this. The operating income dropped around 1% year over year. The net income dropped around quarterly dropped from 11 billion to 10 billion, but it increased 35% year over year. They still have a positive EPS of $40. What else? Cash position decreased by 14 billion. They actually are losing subscribers quarter to quarter. But I believe this is something that you need to assess from risk to uncertainty. And the uncertainty they have is the metaverse. If they can come up with a good metaverse program or they can develop this business, then they're going to be pretty well. So that's why I got some fractional shares.
I think you're going to be fine in the long run with Facebook. But
let's see what happens.
Hey, here's a solution. If you invest in Facebook here and it go well, like say it keeps dipping and it really like goes bad, you can just invest in Facebook in the metaverse and it'll probably go up.
My position is super low, man. It's $4, so let's see where it goes from there. If it drops, then I'll buy more.
Yeah,
but I don't even have one entire share of
Facebook.
Now, Fabio, you said you might go up to 10% of your portfolio if it gets juicy enough.
If it gets juicy enough, so that's the key word. So juicy enough would be in the hundreds. So, because at that point, we're basically pricing in decline. We're pricing in the decline of Facebook, and I wouldn't think so. I think it would only get there if we see a massive change in the macroeconomic backdrop of the United States. Things just get crazy, peak pessimism. It could easily get 10 or even greater. I'll say that.
That's what I'm waiting for. Is like Facebook's a steal now. I totally agree. But if there's like, a massive correction in stocks for whatever reason, I think there's going to be a lot of delicious sales. And at that point, I'll probably scoop up some individual shares.
Yeah. Back in my
Fabio, what's it at right now?
I think last time I checked, it was at 230 something.
237.
Yep. There it is. So I was basically just nibbling a little bit. I only got to buy 1 day's worth of stock when it was at when it was in the 300s. And then I got the blessing of, just a crash on the earnings. And then it went a little bit outside the nibble range and I started buying a little bit bigger chunks. But if you had spoken to me, many, many years ago, and I was just starting out, I would have made the mistake of just buying all my gunpowder right there. And that's a mistake a lot of early investors do. I've been asked that by some of the subscribers that I should make a video on that, because that's a skill that everyone needs to like hone in on. It's controlling your emotions, especially when starting a position. Build up a strategy on how you're going to enter, and then even harder, how you're going to exit, which I'm kind of doing right now with ConocoPhillips.
Fabio, what you should do is you should watch Facebook stock every day. And make a video about it. If it goes up, if it goes down, it's going to go back up.
Don't forget flames in the background.
Every day.
That's how you mess yourself
flames in the background and make a stupid face like this.
Facebook down 0.5%.
Dude. You guys, Fabio, you want to hear something stupid that I did?
Yeah.
You applied for Millennium Money?
I actually... No, not that. No, dude, I'm looking at my Robinhood right now. I used to own Facebook stock. I bought back in April of 2020. You want to know what my fucking price was?
180.
You're
ridiculously
gonna hate
low.
me for selling. I bought it at $161.
Holy crap!
What'd you sell it at?
I sold it at $248.
Well,
Who cares,
look
man?
what just happened. You know, you're now below your sell price. So technically speaking,
Yeah.
that was okay. I mean, you didn't
Dude, yeah.
incur enough for taxes, right? Because then the taxes.
No, I
If
mean,
you were doing that with a
I'm not
large
making enough
position,
money right now.
yeah, you would have gotten shafted.
Actually, yeah, you might be in the zero. Well, is it short term or long? Did you have a short term or long term capital gain?
It was short term, but I don't make enough money to actually be taxed with capital gains taxes because I make
you'll be
less
taxed in
than
the
I forgot what the
short-term
number is.
Yeah.
Only long
think-
term qualifies for that 0%.
Well, I don't know. I
Short-term
don't know
capital
how
gains
long
are-
I held.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I forgot how long it was. No, sorry. I think it's weird because my mic picks up like a second after you guys hear it or something like that. So I have to talk a little earlier. But no, I remember not having any taxes on my my W or my what is it? I had no capital gains taxes when we did it the month after. So I was like, I don't know how long I held it, but I didn't have any taxes to pay.
I mean, did you use your did you get a form from your brokerage that showed like your gains and losses?
Yeah.
And you put that in your
Robinhood
tax form?
Robinhood gave me a form. I did, yeah. I didn't pay any taxes on it. No taxes were taken, not even on Tesla.
Yeah, dude, he doesn't make enough money.
Because I used to.
Yeah, but with short
I
term,
think that's what it is.
Still will pay tax.
It adds on to your ordinary income.
Only long term qualifies. Like I get
Well, that's
it. Yeah,
weird.
if you hit a certain threshold, you don't pay any capital gains. That's only for long term. If you sell quickly, it's gonna be added to your ordinary income. But I mean, either way.
Nathan,
Yeah, but I
did you
mean,
just
even
hit
with
it
his
to
even if with his ordinary income, I mean, the stipend he gets for ROTC's tax free, I believe, isn't it,
Did you
Nate?
make
Yeah.
below $12,000 last year?
It is.
Oh yeah, your standard deduction
Say
wiped
that
out.
again?
Yeah, that's why I was saying, like, I don't think because when I was going to school, like officially, I had no income. So if I sold stocks, it didn't change
It's
my.
fine.
Well, in that case, all you have to do is just not make any money and just trade stocks.
Yeah, that's the whole.
That's
yeah,
the
that's the
key.
whole point.
That's the key.
I've been doing it wrong. I'm just gonna quit my job now and trade.
That's how you do it. That's how you get wealthy. You just don't have a job. So that's why that way you don't. You don't,
Dude,
you don't have a
Ape Father's
job,
cashing
you're not
out
gonna
right
pay
now.
on your $20 million portfolio when you sell it.
Dude, just stop working. Ape Father figured it out.
Listen, I think he does have a job. I'm pretty sure he does. You can actually find him on LinkedIn.
What, dude? What's
Really?
his job? McDonald's tester.
I think he's like a sales manager. I'll look him up right now.
The guy
Chris,
should
you need
drop
to
off
you need
the
to
truckers
keep
that-
doing videos. Sorry, Nate. Chris, you need to
Oh,
keep
no, you're
doing
good.
videos on Lou, man.
On Lou?
That guy is
On
retarded.
who?
I'm sorry to say that, Lou.
There's no other way to describe Lou. Like I was trying to think of like a politically correct way to describe him. The guy's a retard. I mean, there's no other way to freaking say it.
I don't know.
And he's from Puerto Rico, so he should speak better English.
Who's the
If it's in
Lou?
New York, I don't know. Lou is the Ape's father nemesis from the Ape movement.
Thank
Yeah,
God he opens all his videos by saying this is not financial advice. Because if he didn't say
Oh,
that,
yeah.
I would probably listen to him. He's so wise beyond his years.
Oh, yeah, they're out there. The retard I debated on Tesla, he keeps insisting that I change my assumptions on Tesla and keeps telling me I'm wrong. He's like, you got Alibaba wrong. I'm like, I told you it had an intrinsic value of like 180. It's selling at 123. That means you buy it, you dolt.
No, you buy the stock that's been the most hyped stock of 2020 and 2021. That's how you build wealth, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking I was doing it all wrong by buying index funds in tax advantaged accounts.
Yeah. Has anybody else bought Facebook, by the way? I mean, I know Alex and Fabio did. Did you didn't buy it, did you, Jay?
Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I see all of the upside. I just hate Facebook.
Yeah, that's kind of where
So I'm not gonna buy it. I'm gonna be honest
Dude,
with you.
that's where I'm at.
I said this like a year and a half ago on my channel, and people were calling me a moron for saying it. I said, I don't like Facebook stock because it doesn't have a moat. And I'm like, at a certain point, the user growth is going to peter out. Dude's coming on there. It's a cash flow machine. I said, I acknowledge that. I go, sometimes everybody else may think that a stock is great and you just don't for whatever reason. Facebook is one of those stocks for me.
Well, you know what's funny?
I see the other side. If you like it, buy it. But I look at it and I go, boy, I don't know about the whole metaverse that they're banking the future of this company on. Because like, I like, is everybody going to walk around with an Oculus on? Like, is that what we're going to do in public? I don't know.
No, that's probably for your home, man. And they will get if they get it right on the metaverse, that's their mode. Because I don't think any other, yeah.
I agree.
They don't have a mode right now.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs in cars. He's gonna make a metaverse for guys who can't get girlfriends. And then he's gonna be like, also buy my digital real estate, bro.
It's so ridiculous that people now, they had to add a personal space because people were complaining that their avatars were getting groped. And I'm like, you're complaining about a digital avatar getting
what? Wait, so I don't even understand what this whole thing like. With the Oculus, do you just like go to a fictional world? You can like interact with it.
And then I get it, man. There's video games where people drop a ton of money on just different outfits for their characters, and I think that's going to be in there. But I just step back and I go, listen, I hate Mark Zuckerberg. I don't care. I'll invest somewhere else.
Yeah, Facebook is. I mean, I'm pretty bullish about its future, but like I said, if you don't like a stock, you don't, for whatever reason, you don't have to buy it. But
yeah, and that's what I go with. And I mean, it's one of those things where it's like if somebody's telling me that they're going balls deep into Facebook, I'm like, yeah, I see it. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, a lot of people thought Facebook stock was safe. Because people were projecting 15% growth rates in perpetuity. Yeah. And this is what happens when a high-flying growth stock has, a revenue cut. It's the same thing's going to happen to Tesla. I say this all the time. Facebook freaking crashed massively because their growth rates went down. All these other stocks, this could happen to every one of them. So you're not safe being in one high growth, or like large mega cap stock. Any freaking stock can get annihilated of assumptions.
Dude, but in Tesla's case, it's going to be worse, man. Because that's a bubble, a big bubble. Man. Once it bursts,
one freaking quarter.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal.
And
so wait for it.
I will give him due credit. Jeremy there is the only place I will give him credit, was saying he thinks Tesla is going to miss earnings sometime this year. And I mean, I'll give the guy credit for knowing a lot about Tesla. Like he got lucky on the hype, which made him think he was a good investor. A lot of people did that. But a lot of these guys, that are buying Tesla, they just think that it's going to grow. The company's projecting 32% compounded annual growth rate for the next 10 years. Okay, but that hasn't happened.
No, I mean, like, to me, it's common sense. It's a freaking car company. Sure, it might mature into a luxury car company unless they can figure out the cheaper electric car. But even luxury car companies don't have a massive freaking market cap. There's so much in that industry.
On my channel, I had a Tesla bull that I actually agreed with. He went out and he said he thinks by 2032 they'll sell 4 to 5 million cars. And then he breaks down what he thought the stock's intrinsic value was, and it was like $300 to $400 because he was disagreeing with me. And I said, no, your assumptions are perfectly rational. That is something I would invest on. I go, but when I discounted the $300 to $400 back, I'm like, you're looking at a $50 to $60 stock, which is exactly what I keep saying to people. And I keep getting, you're stupid. You don't get it. Like, listen, make realistic assumptions and I'll agree with you. And you can change my mind. Chris changed my mind about the entire world stock market. And it took him all of like 3 minutes where he goes, nah, man, I think you should get out of the US stock market and go to VT. And I go, why? And he goes, because you want the emerging markets and sometimes that outperforms. And I go, yeah, you're right.
So one quick comment about Facebook and Meta, and it's the so like I said before, it was there's two different versions of understanding like the metaverse. There's the meme version, which is like all these people buying NFTs and they're gonna become an ape in the not the NFTs in the metaverse. But what I want to kind of draw attention to is kind of the acquisition, one of the acquisitions that Facebook made, or Meta, I keep doing that, Meta made, and it's a company called Customer with a K. But basically, it's what I've been kind of trying to say is the metaverse is more like, in realistic terms, it's more like a new form of the internet, if we can conceptualize. That's the best way to describe it, but it's going to be a lot of business to business services where businesses are going to be basically interacting with one another, passing data along each other. And Customer is a CRM solution. So who they're trying to, if you can conceptualize who they're going after, it's Salesforce. So Facebook, Meta, is going after Salesforce's business in a lot of ways. And they're making a lot of tuck-in acquisitions. And then their social media aspect is like their cash cow that they're funneling insane amounts of cash to this other place that they think, or Zuckerberg clearly thinks, is going to be bigger, which I can see it. I can agree with it. And then there's the added aspect of, okay, the metaverse, Ready Player One. You know, that's what some people are kind of thinking as the metaverse, Ready Player One, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
That
Fabio,
could happen.
That's
not what I'm saying.
now.
Fabio, I see it at this. Fabio, I actually think their revenue business is their main focus right now, right? Because they're making tons of money. Yeah. There. So
do you use WhatsApp?
For me, yeah.
Well, how many people around you use WhatsApp?
In Mexico, everyone. I believe in America, that's different. No, but here in Mexico, actually, Chris got WhatsApp because of me. Yeah.
You see, like, and then my entire family, they're Venezuelan. They all use WhatsApp. I'm the weird one who kind of is the resistant one to WhatsApp. Mm-hmm. And then you go to Europe, they're all using WhatsApp. And then I have a question for you. Do you use WhatsApp to exchange money yet, or you don't do it for that, just messaging?
No, but you can use it to exchange money receipts and confirmations. Yeah.
You see, so think about what they're building here. It's an ecosystem of information, and a lot of people globally, not in the United States. So it's hard for sometimes Americans to put their heads around this because we don't use it. We use iMessage, iPhone standard, and then I know some people use Messenger on Facebook, which is still a Facebook product. But I don't understand why people use that one. I mean, but again, like it's why people use WhatsApp. But most of the world does. And it's kind of like when you start to see, okay, what are they acquiring? And then you can kind of picture what it is that they're trying to go after. It's pretty interesting. Now, again, you have the cash cows, and then will they succeed in developing this ecosystem? I don't know, maybe, but it's there. And something like Cash App, WhatsApp could easily just come in, not easily, but Cash App and Venmo, they're basically trying to do that with WhatsApp. And Brazil, the government there got in their way and tried to stop them. Yeah.
In Spain is huge, man. Well, everywhere in Europe and the world.
Okay, Nordics. America. Okay, yeah. I haven't been to Scandinavia, but when I was in Spain, though, I don't know. There's a lot of young people who, when I would talk to them, they'd ask me, "Do you have WhatsApp?" I don't know about grandmas. They were like,
there's a question.
I guess it's like prevalent.
There's a question in the chat that we could actually answer if you guys want to.
What's that?
It's Chris, you can look for it. It's by G.Angers. He's asking about Disney stock. It's up a little bit. You have to scroll up a little. What do you guys think about Disney? I haven't looked at their anything in a while.
Hold on.
Dude, I haven't looked at any individual stocks, to be honest. I mean, like, I saw Facebook went down, but I'm just so freaking busy. I don't have
I haven't looked at it either.
I
think
in my personal opinion, I look at stocks that are at a fire sale, as Jay mentions it. But I'm mainly a Boglehead. Yeah, like Baba, Facebook. I know Fabi doesn't like Baba.
I'm gonna continue to do discounted cash flows, but I highly doubt I'll be buying any individual stocks this year because I'm taking 2 trees down in my lawn. That's like $10,000 between them. So you add that on top of maxing my tax advantaged accounts. You know, you're at like 35 grand that's already spoken for this year. Me trying to max out my 401k and my Roth. So I like I said, I'll do cash flows, but even if stuff comes on fire sale, it's like I look at it and I'm like, wow, I haven't maxed that tax advantaged brokerage account. So I really can't the tax advantaged account. I really can't justify buying in a brokerage account at this point. The tree thing came out when I had some guys come out and look. I thought I could wait a little bit, and they go, listen, man, those trees are dead. They have to come down.
Just admit that you want a burly lumberjack to take his shirt off and cut your trees down just so you can.
Well, I already performed oral on him to get that tree cut down, but I mean, that's irrelevant.
Hey, if you want me to come down to Florida, if you pay for my my plane ticket, I'll cut your tree down for you.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think.
Hey, that's the only way I'm going to be able to do it. Kay told me
Does paying your plane ticket come with no shirt? Wearing no shirt?
I will cut your tree down shirtless if you pay me $1,000.
I'm going to be done. I'm going to be raising extra cash by being the main attraction in a donkey show in Tijuana.
Dude, Meat Spin Kevin just foams at the mouth thinking of Chris with no shirt.
Yeah.
Oh God, do we need to go there?
Dude, we need to save what's his name? Graham Stevens.
Oh yeah.
What's the name of his team? Yeah,
so I want to reach out to him, but I pissed off his girlfriend about 6 months or maybe a year ago. So I kind of think any kind of collaboration with him is dead in the water. Unless
because you're shitting them.
Yeah, and anybody associated with you.
Yeah, I mean they might like it with Fabio, but me, no. I close that.
Chris, if you come down to Florida, Chris, me, you, and Jay, we gotta hang.
Yeah, I wanted to come down there, but then my wife got pregnant again. So.
Oh gosh, darn it! You know.
Wow.
Damn kids, man.
Don't you hate when that happens?
You're responsible for that.
See that box behind me? That's a freaking crib I have to set up.
Right.
Are you done after this baby, or are you having any more?
I mean, I want to have at least one more, but my wife's like struggling pretty bad. She's like back problems, and she's had kids back to back. So we might wait a year or 2 or 3, but eventually I might have one more.
3 is a good number. Increase the
definitely population. Julius Caesar. Yeah, no, dude. I just love the fact that like Meet Kevin had to turn off the comments.
Oh yeah,
dude. You know he subscribed to my channel, and I know he is, and he literally the second I put out a video, within 5 seconds he had commented on my video. The dude freaking watches me
recently. Recently, or because I know for a couple of times before.
The one I just put out yesterday, he literally commented within 10 seconds of the video coming out.
What did he say, dude?
Yeah, derogatory comments or good comments?
Yeah, tell us.
He just said third. You know, people comment like, oh, I'm the first commenter. He was like, oh, third. And I thought it was a troll account because somebody made a troll account with his name and face. And I was like, oh, I commented. I was like, nice troll, bro. And then my friend messaged me. He's like, dude, that's him.
Like, dude, he probably is, man, because he can't take like any amount of criticism. And it's like, dude, you don't hate on anybody that doesn't deserve to be hated on. And Meet Kevin is one of the worst. He's the second worst next to Jeremy LaFufu.
What about Dogecoin Millionaire? I loved that video.
Dogecoin is just a moron.
Oh my god.
Oh my
He
god,
looks
that
lost
guy
in
is.
that video you watched.
He's also retarded, man.
That's what I'm saying. Alex hit it on the head. Hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Alex found his new favorite word.
Mhm.
I'm trying to
I
mark
have
that video.
many. Fire sale, retarded, Jeremy the Football.
Well,
I'm increasing my vocabulary.
well, dude, I'm pretty sure I had some of my comments to that one guy taken down because after I commented, they're not there for me calling him a dolt and a retard, a half-tard. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people block comments. Like I like to troll channels, obviously, and I can tell when I'm blocked because like nobody will respond to the comment, especially on Jeremy's channel.
Jay, I had a lot of fun with your reaction to the Ape Father video down in
Be right back.
Wall Street.
I
You were
didn't-
in excruciating pain just watching the video, but you did it. You made it through it.
I didn't think it was my best video, but it was painful to watch that. I'm like, what do you hope to accomplish with this? You walk around in public screaming AMC to Pluto. Do you think that, like, this is a point I made in the video? Do you think that the average person is walking down the street going, I wonder what I should invest in? Buy AMC. Oh, all right. Yeah, I'm going to go home tonight and just buy AMC because they have delicious popcorn. Dude, it was so hard. Like, the dude, I just am like, what is your logical thought process and why are you malfunctioning? What is going on here?
Yeah. It's a dying company,
Guy
man.
left a comment.
Huh?
Hey, a guy left a comment asking a question. I think we could probably all add insight to it. He asked me specifically if I've looked at any like Indian stocks. To answer your question, Rama, I haven't looked at any Indian stocks like individually, but I do own. I own the world because I own VT, and I also I think in this other one of the other mutual funds I have, I own like a foreign mutual fund, or it's like foreign index funds. So I think that's like India, China, all those places. So to answer your question, I haven't looked at any individual Indian stocks. If you have any to suggest, I would look at them. But for now, I have not.
I don't know any individual companies. Like I said, I'm going to get back to doing cash flows, but it was just too much fun making hateful videos about Kevin as when it gets volatile. And
There's one huge Indian company named Tata Consultants.
Tata Chef?
No, Tata TATA. Yeah, they're here in Mexico, and I know they're huge.
Okay.
For me, it's the same case as Nate. I don't own any individual Indian
Hey,
stocks,
by the way,
but
Rama,
it's a huge market.
Sorry, yeah, Rama, I got your email. I've been freaking busy, dude. But I mean, I will get around to going back and looking at individual stocks. But I just don't have time. I mean, I work all day. I work out. I get home. I have time to make one video hating on deep breath, and then I'm going to bed.
Yeah, it's a
Bitcoin millionaire has to be frugal. He has to be because he just lost all his money.
right.
Well, he still has $500,000. He's honestly he's wealthier than I am. I'm a little jealous, but
Yeah, but I mean, he's wealthier than you are until Doge implodes, and then he's down at the coal mine, man.
At the truck stop.
What about the barracks?
Or down in Tijuana, man.
Yeah, he's gonna be somewhere. He's gonna be somewhere. He could be at the stables or the docks.
Dude,
Now I would buy a
that was
company
such a
called
great
Tatas.
joke.
Tatas.
Yeah, that one. Thank you,
I like
Julius.
Tatas.
I mean, you can also get exposure to India through, again, these international American companies. We call them American companies, but they're global companies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like Google's huge in like investing tons of money in India. They just bought a new company in India. I don't know off the top of my head, but I saw it just a week ago. They bought one.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I was done. I just said an
Oh, I was going to say, like, to piggyback on what you said, you can watch an interview where Jack Bogle, he talks about how he goes, American companies are basically international companies. He said, so if you own the total, that's why if somebody, honestly, I have come to the thought that VT is better. But I mean, you can make a solid argument that you're quite fine with the total U.S. market. You're not. Yeah, I mean, I don't think one is really going to outperform the other. I think it's going to be just comparable. You'll underperform. Whereas I think VT will be more solid. I think if you have the total US, you'll go time where it underperforms the entire world. But I don't think in the long run it's going to be anything that would affect your retirement.
Yeah, I mean, VT is just so you don't time the market. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes international, like VT will never outperform both VTI or VXUS, but you're basically, you know, preventing yourself from doing something stupid and timing the market. That's all it is.
Yeah. Lowering.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But
and also to keep it simple, man. You don't have to complicate things.
You think Bob was going to 100,000?
No, but I do think I'll stand by this. I think 2022, 2023 will be the year of Baba. Years of Baba.
It's possible.
I agree with you because
VIE structure. I mean, that stock's dipped so much. You know, it just takes a change in sentiment, and that stock freaking is gonna roar.
I think by 2024, I think it's going to be overvalued.
If it's overvalued, I'll sell it. I mean, you
me too.
constantly redo the discounted cash flow, and if you look at it, it's like, wow, this is massively overvalued. Sell it.
I got a question for Fabio. Fabio, when do you sell your stocks? When do you exit your positions? Do you have a percentage?
Oh, well, the
gainings?
goal. No, there is no percentage gains because then that'd be like playing with the soap. It's basically when it gets uncomfortable for me where I can't make the proper assumptions going forward. So I basically allow the numbers more or less to tell me. So like if something gets to a certain price point and then I look and do another evaluation on that individual company and I can't seem to grasp how or why, like if I wouldn't buy it right then and there, right? I do a similar analysis. Then I start to think about it, right? And then, so for example, a good one that I'm exiting right now and starting the process is ConocoPhillips. So I'm up over 300% now, and I sold 20% right on Friday. And then I'm planning on just slowly getting out. But if you think about it, for example, if I sold half of it and I kept the rest, I'm taking out all the money I put in and then some. And I'm paying only long-term capital gains on some of it. But for now, I'm only selling the portion that is actually in the tax advantage account. So on the current portion I've sold, I'm not going to pay any. So then I also plan it around that too. So it just depends because normally I prefer not to sell at all. I like to just accumulate good companies in the portfolio and just never really sell. Like my Google, I don't want to sell it, but I might if it gets to the point where the price, I can't make forward assumptions that make sense, where I start to see it might, or there's a high probability it will underperform. But it's still not there because I think I can discount it at like 12%, which is really low, and it still comes out. So then I'm like, okay, that's averaged out at 10%.
What was the growth rate you assumed?
For Google, it was slightly under 20. It was slightly under 20%. And then I know a lot of us think, like, for example, how the heck does it grow in that to perpetuity? But there's a lot of things we have to consider. For example, the expansion globally, remember, it's a global company. So we're not talking about just United States. It is a global enterprise. And as rates, or as the rest of the world, if it gets wealthier, if we believe that will happen, like we think India is going to get wealthier, we think other parts of the world are going to get wealthier, those ad rates rise with that. United States is pretty much a cash cow, but the ad rates are growing still in the United States because, for example, TV is not that. Sorry.
I was messing around with it earlier, and I did a 15% average growth rate. I had it at 2,300 a share. So, like for me, like if I was looking at that and it's at 2,300 or it's trading at 28, and I have an intrinsic value of 2,300, I'm not selling anything.
Yeah, but they're doing a stock split, so it's like now.
Huh? What'd you say, dude?
They're doing a stock split, so it's going to be $50 now, and
that automatically makes it cheaper.
Well, I'm sort of like I'm expecting that. Sadly, I'm expecting that, but I think the market cap's large enough that hopefully, I hope for the sake of humanity that it doesn't do that, go up just because of a stock split.
No, I guarantee you it's going to go up. I think it's going to go up slightly, Look at what happened every time Tesla does this, or not Tesla, Apple does a stock split. People run out and they're like, oh, it was $400. No, it's cheaper because it's $100. I'm like, it has the exact same PE ratio. It's overvalued.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, it's like Wall Street buying this. You know, like these stocks don't move based on retail.
Yeah,
it's astounding to me that people, these huge investors, are buying the stock because they had a freaking stock split.
Yep.
I mean, go ahead.
No. I was not going to say anything.
Dude, look at Julius's comment. Julius has a comment about.
Oatly, no.
You know, I might try to find the time to do an Oatly video. I haven't really looked at the company, but I guarantee you it's freaking trash.
I'm going to do the Fat Brands video soon. I decided I'm going to do it.
Do what video?
You did NAT, Nordic American Tankers. So I remember you typed into the search bar, and it showed, it was like my video was like the second.
Yeah, your video was
with Jeremy.
Guys, Oatly, free cash flow, negative 417 million. Seems like a stock I want to get into.
Ooh. Jay, you just don't understand growth, bro.
You just don't understand
all the
vegan
money
growth.
I earned at the dock is going into that company.
Yeah, buddy. Vegan is way up there.
Soy boys are taking over, man.
Oh my god!
The future is soy.
Me, the Spin Kevin is still buying tattoo nutsack, man.
Meat Spin? I think he sold it. I think he just did it as like a trade. But
he bought some.
Buying tattoo taint.
I watched a video last week. I think he was gonna get some more, but I don't know if it was just straight.
Yeah, honestly, it's so hard to keep track of him. Like, you know, he does something and then you make a video about it, and then it's like the next day he's like, "Oh, I actually sold that." It's like, what are you doing? I can't keep tabs on you. We need like a Twitter account that just tracks me, Kevin's trades.
Yeah, he's in that stage right now where you kind of see what investors do when they kind of like do the panic sell, and then they start to play with the soap a lot. Like it's like the figure of speech. Like they start doing this with the soap, and that's what he's doing right now. He has no idea really what he's doing. That shows that he has very little experience in the stock market. Because that's indicative of a beginner.
Somebody he's gonna be dropping the soap a lot in the prison.
Somebody did that with Nancy Pelosi. They have an app so that every time Nancy Pelosi buys a stock, it notifies you, so you can buy it too.
Roblox. She bought call options on Roblox, by the way. I don't know what the heck that's about.
Dude, when people were complaining about that, they were like, "Oh, Nancy Pelosi's husband bought this, that, and this." I go, on insider trading, I go, "Yeah, he's a moron. They're all overvalued." So just because somebody says, "Oh, Google's going to get this $10 billion contract with the United States government," Google is a $1.8 trillion market cap. $10 billion is not going to move the stock, homie.
Hey, Laura, I need to ask: is that a real picture? Just curious.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, man.
Is that really?
I was going to say,
is that really you?
Lara, with that.
Just out of curiosity.
I was going to say, Lara, if that's how you actually look, you'll do fine down at the truck stop.
Yeah.
You'll do fine.
Come on, man.
If you need extra money, fly to Ottawa right now.
Or to Tijuana, man.
Oh my god, dude.
We're sorry, Laura.
Oh no.
Yeah, sorry, Laura.
If you ever want to come on the channel,
I'm
we'd be more
sorry.
than happy to talk to you.
Yeah, you can come online too. Email me, tell me the story.
Make sure
There was one.
Make sure you have a good camera so we can see, so that we can see all of you.
Oh, we pissed her off.
It's all. It's no. I'm.
That was respectfully.
No.
Yeah. Lefuvo's stepsister thing was just one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen on the internet. And I watched that guy get decapitated in Iraq.
No, Laura, is that
Jesus.
really you or not? That's all we're asking. Some people
Yeah,
have like
no,
they put like pictures of girls in their profile pic, and it's like, okay,
yeah.
you're especially when it's like a dude, it's like, what are you doing?
Dude, look right under that comment. Mike goes, F you, that's my wife.
Mike Soro and Laura Kowalski. Yeah, I'm sure you guys are related.
No, Mike Sor.
Oh my god. Hey Chris, are you the Jim Carrey of YouTube?
I don't
You
know.
make lots
I don't know
of
what I
faces, jokes.
That's okay. Okay, Laura. That's all we
Okay,
were asking.
sorry, Laura.
All right, Laura, if you give me a $10 super chat, I'll apologize.
What did you expect? It's the boys.
Yeah.
Boys will be
Sorry.
boys, you know what I'm saying? Well, we're sorry that happened to you, Laura. You shouldn't listen to Jeremy LaFufu. Seriously, you should go on like Jay's channel and talk to him. I'll get in trouble if I bring you on my channel.
Yeah. Probably.
No, Laura, just buy VT and hold it.
Lara, you need to.
Yeah.
This is getting into the sunk fallacy, the sunk cost fallacy. I mean, it's entirely possible that those stocks could shoot up again, but I mean, there's no fundamentals holding them up. So if the market decides, everybody decides to sell, man, they're going to go into free fall and they'll go bankrupt. It's not like Facebook's stock is dropping. Okay, who cares? They had what, 35 billion in free cash flow last year? That would be the only thing I would say. Like if it was me, I'd cut my losses, start over, grab VT, and then 99 to 95% of your money in that, and then you can pick individual stocks if you want to after that.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell people that are like so deep into these stocks. It's like I would feel bad if, you know, they sold and then the stocks go up because of short-term market volatility and they could have missed their chance to sell out of them. But I don't know what to say. I mean, maybe just focus on buying better stuff in the future.
Go ahead, Fabio.
No, I was saying, see what she said, cut losses. What's VT? This is a perfect example, a case study.
Yeah.
We can kind of describe, or you guys can go over what VT is because you guys are the Bogleheads officially. This is a good case study for everyone else. Like what we could call a victim of scammer YouTube finance, if we're being frank. And there you go. Well, someone's already answering the question.
Yeah, Elemental.
So
I think Elemental understands VT more than I do.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's actually really smart.
Exactly.
Yeah, sometimes Elemental chastises me on my channel and I feel dumb and I'm like, man, I'm just ranting here. I'm not sure I believe everything that I'm saying at the exact second.
Elemental, I just got wasted, man. You can't take everything that I take seriously.
Yeah, but or look, this is just the statistical facts. The average person gets between a 2 to 3% return when they buy individual stocks versus the market 7 or 8 or 9, depending on how you calculate it and who you're talking to. So the average person, and even most people that are professionals that do this, can't outperform the total stock market. And there's entire fields of study in investing about outperforming the stock market. It is such a big deal, in fact, that if you do it by a good margin, you become a legend in investing. Peter Lynch, Warren Buffett. So for me, it's like, how much time do you really want to sit around reading 10Ks, doing discounted cash flows, doing free cash flows, looking through financial statements? How much time do you want to spend doing that?
You're going to offend Bobby.
Also, if you watch Nate's video, the last one, and the reaction from Jay, you're gonna understand. Yeah.
Chris, she left another comment talking about. She left another comment talking about how to double her money fast.
You're not
okay. Listen, I will explain this to you. You're not going to double your money on options. You're probably going to lose the rest of your money on options. You should just accept that you lost the money because there's no way to make money quick. That's part of you're not going to make money quick unless you're gambling and you get lucky. Or I've bought options before. You don't want that kind of stress. You think you're fucking stressed out now? Don't you dare touch options.
Options will annihilate you. I mean, they're so if a stock goes up 1%, the option might go up 10%, but it's the same way going down. Short-term volatility can freaking wipe out options. You don't.
Fabio, how much time do you spend on an individual stock? Just to give Laura an idea, how much time? Because you buy more individual stocks than we do. What's your average time on researching a stock?
To be honest, so before I make the final decision on putting a stock in my portfolio, it could take several days. And then afterwards, it doesn't take much to just brief up on what the business is doing. I can kind of tell within the first hour or so whether or not I'm interested or not in a stock. And, I can catch it immediately in the financial statements. I catch something I don't like, red flags. I have a couple red flags. I created in the model to actually grade management's ability to report earnings. And I have that as the earnings quality measure. Immediately, if that's in the red, don't like it. Oh, Laura. This is okay. Laura.
We're on. You're done.
Yeah.
Here we were.
She's a troll, man.
Accommodating.
Yeah. Fabio was making a very good explanation.
Yeah.
But go ahead. It may serve someone else. Yeah. And
make that model explanation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry? Where did you get that model from?
Oh no, I built it ground up. Yeah.
How do you tie in the stock, ticker symbols into your? Because I think it's Excel, right? How do you tie?
Yeah. Well, I also then created an API, which is a little bit difficult, but I worked hard and created an API to pour it in information as well. So that's not something Google can really do. Google can just do basic Google Finance, but you need an API, and you can pay for an API. They are some that exist, but unfortunately here you can kind of cringe with me. There's some APIs that mix together the debt of companies, so it's terrible, and it's impossible to separate it out. So they'll merge in common stock with preferred stock, at the same time in the same thing, and they don't separate it. So then you can throw off some of your numbers, and then so you got to be careful with the API that you do use. So I kind of use it for work as well. But I'm going to be putting it on the website, with the API and everything, and when the new website launches, and then it'll be for everyone to use.
Oh, tell us more about what's your plan with the website?
So the website, I'm going to have the front-facing part, which is going to be kind of like what Seeking Alpha does, where it gives you all the financial statements, but not charge you for it, because Seeking Alpha charges you for 10 years worth of data. I'm just that information is technically all free out there. So I'm just going to use the API and just port it all in, and everyone can go on there and see all the data for free. And I think there's another website, Ticker Terminal, whatever. I think you also have to pay for. I don't use that website, but I could be wrong. And then again, that will be free. I'll just put in ads or something. I'll eat the cost in the meantime. And then if you guys want to use extra tools that I may develop, then that'll be add-ons. But for the most part, the front-facing part, if you want to do quick analysis, should be, it's free. It's easy to do. Ratios. Why would you charge someone to do the ratios for them? It's just a division oftentimes. So,
well, hey, if you want to get rich like all these other clowns, you're smart enough. Just sell all the most basic stuff and charge an arm and a leg.
Sell your tools.
I might do some sort of course, but there's some really bad taste, and that's I don't want to do that. If I do a course, it'll be a $5.
Why wouldn't you just write a book?
Really cheap.
Why wouldn't you just write a book like Chris did and then sell it for $5 or $10 on your site? I think that would
take you to write.
And you could do an ebook too.
Yeah, I might do that. I'll wait till I feel like I gotta wait a little bit longer before I can officially write a book. How long did it take you to write a book?
It only took me. I was lazy for part of it, but actual writing, if I had focused, I probably could have churned it out in 2 weeks.
Okay.
I wasn't doing crazy research.
Tom Nash is in the chat.
Tom Nash wants to come on the stream.
I know you. Holy shit! What did you use to crop that?
Oh my god!
Photoshop.
We're making waves.
Whoever just did that, I love you.
It's verified.
Right, Tom, if you send me
it's actually Tom Nash. Holy shit!
You on.
Yeah.
No, Tom, if you change your profile picture to a pug, I'll let you on.
and you have to explain to me how you got a $2,500 intrinsic value.
Oh my god.
All right, Tom, I'm going to drop my email in the chat. You can, if you actually want it, email me, and then I'll let you on. We'll have a chat.
I'm not that desperate.
Yeah. You don't have to change your face to a pug.
Tom Nash.
Yeah, right, Tom.
I mean, at least he has a good sense of humor. I mean, some people like Kevin get way too offended at my videos.
Hey guys, it's me. I love that's the only, like half the time I just watch it. I watch
it's been Kevin here.
Intro a couple of times that you do on Kevin because it cracks me up.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people like me for my mannerisms, you know, because like I don't do a lot of stock analysis.
No, you're just slaying people, but people like that, man.
You have so many little things that you could probably make into merchandise, and I'd be buying it. Like the faces you make with like me, Kevin,
Yeah,
Fufu. You have catchphrases now. You were the one who did the.
Yeah, I actually have a couple merchandise ideas. Like I want to have a coffee cup that says. And then on the back is a screenshot of Tattoo stock just going down for like the past year.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
I'll buy that. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm really I might actually start making some merch. I mean, the last merch I made, you know, would have got me in trouble, I think.
See my
Thank
coffee?
you, Alan, for pointing that out. But
I could be sponsoring you right now. It could be right there. The tattoo.
Yeah,
instead of this Batman bug, I'll have yours.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude, I kind of thought that, but
Oh,
I have no
man.
legal expertise. But I was sitting there, I'm like, boy, that looks like he might be able to come after you.
Yeah, don't give them any chance, man.
I actually had a dream last night that me, Kevin, sued me. I was like, oh, like he made a YouTube video about it. And I was like, oh, crap.
Even worse, what if you came home and he was showing off your house as real estate?
Let me show you a garbage house. This is Christopher Bell.
Oh, I don't know again if this person's, you know, trolling or not, but they asked a serious question that actually might be answerable or good to answer. It's about why people go to individual stocks if VT is hard to outperform. I mean, because that's a good general question for everyone. And yeah, it's
I have a
basically
good answer to that.
Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, I said this in the video I made yesterday about individual stocks versus index funds. Most people are fucking retarded. That's the short version of it.
Wow.
Because
all right, thanks for coming on the stream.
Yeah,
it's a get rich quick thing. People
exactly.
think a lot of people, especially these Tesla guys, the first stock they bought was Tesla, and they were listening to all the hype, and it went parabolic. So now they think they can do that with every stock. The best thing that can happen to you is the first individual stock you buy, you lose your ass on.
Yeah.
Because then you start doing research on why. Whereas you look at Jeremy. Jeremy thought he knew what he was doing because he got in early on Tesla. It shot up. And there's even, I remember him saying, this is weird. Tesla shouldn't be shooting up like this. Now he's all, oh, no. This is fine for Tesla. But it's just the allure. People think they overestimate their abilities. They get lucky a time or two, and then they're like, oh, I've got this. They really had no idea what they were doing.
Also, if you look at
easier to fool
history,
someone
then
than to convince someone they've been fooled.
there's very
Yep.
if you look at history, there's not much or many people that actually beat the market. So don't be that arrogant as to think that you can do it. You can probably do it if you have a lot of education, experience in the stock market, and luck.
I think
Mainly luck, but yeah, it's going to be very hard to pick up. Yeah, a lot of stocks that are going to beat the market for you, as opposed to picking an index fund where it's safe and you just ride it along. So
I give this example.
That's another explanation.
I give this example. Most people just don't have the time to do proper research. Most people don't have jobs where they're looking at stocks all day. So you have to be able to quickly discount a stock because you need, in order to beat the market, you need to find some bangers. Most people don't have that time. You work 40 hours a week. You come home. Realistically, the average person probably has 2 to 3 hours of free time when you don't count in work in the day. It's just not enough time to sit there and pick the right stocks. So it's like you can try to do it, or you can just crush your tax advantaged accounts, and you shouldn't be buying individual stocks outside of that until you've maxed that anyways. So,
yeah,
I mean, that's my thoughts on it.
It comes back to being honest with yourself, and the only one you're going to hurt when you're honest with yourself is yourself. So you got to be honest with yourself. Do I have the time to do this? And if I do it, will I be successful? Right. And then that's where a lot of people, I guess, decide, oh yeah, I'm the next Warren Buffett. And then they go out. Yeah, no, and then here's another thing. When you get the problem of a bunch of retail investors just flooding the market, that tends to be one of the worst times to actually get involved in the market. So like 2000, if you got, I mean, a lot of people here maybe were not involved in the market in the year 2000, around there, but you can always read history to make up for, our lack of age experience, or to try to attempt to learn. And if you read what happened, there were, Yahoo chats about stocks, kind of like how there's a lot of YouTube channels about stocks. And they were just typing up stocks after stock after stock. Retail investors were just getting in like crazy. Crash immediately. The sentiment became stock market is gambling. Real estate is the way to go. Real estate never goes down. Real estate only goes up. And then you had real estate crash. Then the sentiment changed for real estate. That was the time to get into real estate, and also for stocks too, because again, it reinforced stocks are gambling. So you want to be cautious, not trying to time the market, but look around you. There's a saying from the Great Depression, if the guy bagging your groceries is talking to you about stocks, you should be scared.
Yeah,
because that's what happened.
That's also I forget that Joe Kennedy, he said that. Yeah. He said once he received a stock tip from a shoe shine boy, he sold out of his position, which I still wouldn't recommend doing because you're trying to time the market. And that was right before the Great Depression hit. So it's like, this is what a lot of, we'll pick on the stock. At work, do you know how many, I can't count the number of times that somebody said to me, oh, you're into investing, you should buy Tesla. And these are the same people that tell Nate and I, oh, hey, I heard this joke the other day and you can use it in one of your little skits on stage. And I'm like, yeah, okay, great. Thanks for the advice, amateur.
Jay, history repeats itself, man. It's happening again.
Opinion. Thanks.
Hold on, I need to call here. Hug Savage, what do you think about entrepreneurship in cars? So if you don't know, he's this bald guy that talks about like red pill philosophy. And I mean, I'm indifferent to the red pill crap, but what I don't like about a lot of these red pill people is they all pump cryptocurrency. Like he actually has these people on his channel called like Crypto Mindset or something, and a bunch of freaking shills for garbage cryptocurrency. So I don't know why, if you want to help men, become better versions of themselves, why you would pump cryptocurrency on them. So I don't like them in that respect.
Well, I get extremely suspicious when some dude that I can tell is a beta male starts talking about how he can tell me how to become an alpha male. And then I usually say to him, do you know who talks about becoming an alpha male? Beta males. Jocko Willnick and Joe Rogan aren't sitting around talking about how they're alpha males. Just alpha males go out there and do. They don't tell you anything. Jeff Bezos went out there and created Amazon. That's some ultimate alpha male crap right there.
So the whole red pill space is just stupid. Like there's all these clowns popping up, claiming they're alpha males, even have like alpha in their freaking titles. There's actually a channel called Alpha Status Stocks.
Yeah, I know. I
don't know if you guys have heard of that.
I've never heard of that, but wow.
Don't even bother. You get I lost 10 IQ and forgot how to spell my name after I watched them. For like 3 hours, I was like, I don't even know who I am. I don't know. Like, when was I born?
One of the guys bought their mom $100,000 NFT. They just made a video about it. Like they brought a printout of a freaking, I don't know, a monkey or something, and they gave it to their mom. It's like, Here, I've succeeded in life, Mom. I spent $100,000 on a picture of an ape, sniffing its poop or something.
That's why my mom's awesome, because if I came up to her place in Ocala and I said, Mom, I bought you $100,000 NFT, my mom would say, get out of my house and don't talk to me for a month.
Okay.
Mom would literally look at me and be like, why wouldn't you just give me $100,000? What is this stupid crap?
What were you saying, Fabio?
I think
No,
entrepreneurs in cars. I think I think like the idea of the red pill is not necessarily a bad philosophy, but it's absolutely infested with like all these grifters who just try to profit off of like, men not being in good places in their life. So it's like understanding that most relationships in the modern day are transactional. That's like a good thing to know. But that being said, most of the people on YouTube are not your friends. Most of them are just grifting.
Well, it becomes this thing.
Send a DM on Twitter.
Oh, God. I don't even know my Twitter freaking password.
I mean,
but it becomes this
on.
thing where it's some dude. He's like, I'm gonna teach you how to get women with this simple techniques. And I go, there's a better way to get women. Don't view it as transactional. Don't view it as because you were nice to her, she has to sleep with you. That'll get you really far in life. And then just be funny and doing stuff. You're good to go.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if maybe I'm having a different experience, but like my wife, it was never transactional, it was good. So the red pill philosophy, I think, is kind of exaggerating some elements of society. Sure, yes, there are some people who are viewing relationships as transactional. I'm talking about if from the men's perspective, because that's what the red pill movement targets. But if you're really like thinking about, I think maybe I'm misrepresenting what red pill is, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like Jordan Peterson is a really good inspirational speaker for men because he speaks about just building yourself. And that's really what you should do, right? Not hate on the world for every.
I would say it's more prominent. I would say there being a lot of like not good like women out there, and that you have to like really vet out for a good woman. I'd say that's way more prominent in my generation. Like I would say most of the chicks I meet I don't take seriously, but it's like every once in a while you find some high quality women. You just have to. I think a man should be held responsible for vetting women, because I mean if you find a good one, that's great. But that being said, it is kind of challenging.
Yeah, but I mean, on the flip side, from a woman's point of view, there's a lot of douchebags out there too. Yeah, she has to sort through.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the other side. You can't defend. You can't like.
Yeah. Well, dude, there's just toxic people everywhere on all sides of the aisle, both in politics, men, women. There's toxic people out there. It's just avoiding a-holes, man. That's all it is.
For me, as long as you're confident, make them
Did you
laugh
send him an invite, Chris?
and be respectful, then you get way farther than just doing something.
Whatever women want, you just listen and do whatever they say.
Listen.
Not everything, man. Most things, yeah.
Chris, did you send
my wife
invite?
forced me to make this video or this live stream today. That's why I'm here. You gotta go make more money, Chris. Why didn't you get super chats last time? I'm sorry.
It was actually your wife. It was actually your wife's boyfriend.
I have honest diapers to buy for the baby. You better start super chatting it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you, I'm not buying
Tom on.
Even though my wife bought Honest lotion for my kid. Every time I put the lotion on him, I want to punch the window.
Wait, why'd she buy it? Was it
guys? No matter what Tom says, don't buy Tesla.
She said it like looked nice or something like that. I don't know.
Did you show her a picture of Lafufu pushing it, and she was like, "You're right. This is disgusting. Just use it up."
Okay. I guess this is another case, right? Because I keep seeing the same kind of talk going on there about Tesla. If someone is asking on a live chat what stocks about, this is a case not to pick on anyone if you do that, but really think about what it is that you're doing. You're asking on a live chat, strangers you have no idea what to do or where to put your hard-earned money, right? First, idea or first rule of investing is capital preservation. Warren Buffett says it like this: don't lose money. Rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. And then a fancier way to say it, capital preservation and paying attention to the risks. If you are going online to try to figure out what other people are telling you to invest in, that's a sign that you should probably calm down, take a step back, listen to what everyone else is saying about VT. If you want to get into individual stocks, take that time to start learning, building yourself, building your understanding of stocks, and then just have exposure to the market, put it in something that's kind of low volatility, high exposure to basically everything. Again, VT, and then, or whatever index fund you want to, if you just want SPY or total stock market of United States, and then just take that time, breathe, and then learn, and then you'll be better off in the long term. And I still don't know if this person is like trolling or stuff.
Yeah,
I lost
I don't know either,
123K.
but it's a good thing that you gave out that message, because that's perfectly said.
Yeah.
And as in life, as in everything in the stock market, you need to be persistent. You need to educate yourself. You need to keep learning. Nobody knows everything. Even Warren Buffett said it. He's not an expert. He's not well, he said that, but results seem to be giving him well, if you see his results, then you'll see that he's actually an expert, but he doesn't think of himself like that way. So just keep learning, keep reading. There's a lot of material. There's a Boglehead forum. So yeah, that's all I tell people in my channel. You need to put in the effort.
My
screwing you.
My favorite Warren Buffett quote is this, and this just sums up why I'm a fan of his. He goes, I don't know what the stock market's going to do 10 minutes from now, 10 months from now, but I'm pretty sure in 30 years it's going to be higher.
I mean, I don't even know about that, but yeah.
Yeah, buy the whole market, buy the whole haystack, as John Bogle.
I mean, like, even if the market isn't higher, even the market's flat in the next 10, 20 years, when the market corrects, you're still dollar cost averaging and buying shares on the cheap.
Yeah.
So it can be totally flat for 20, 30 years and you still make a ton of money. That's just how it works when you dollar cost average.
Yeah, and you've said it several times, Chris. More important is just the volume of money you're throwing at the problem. So it's like, if you max both tax advantaged accounts, right? $25,000 a year, roughly. I mean, when you're putting that kind of money away and you do that for 20 or 30 years, you're going to be fine in retirement.
You'll be a lot better than most Americans, I'll tell you that. I mean, you look at some people and they have nothing. They're just living on Social Security.
This is the biggest problem with it. I guarantee you out there right now, there's some moron that can't tell you why stocks go up, that has made a crap ton of money off penny stocks. And you sit there and you know, if you're new, you look at it, you're like, oh, that's how you make a fortune. Well, the odds of you repeatedly getting lucky like that person did, that is, whether they did or they didn't, but they make that claim and you listen to them, you're probably not going to be that person. So, I mean, that's why we say 5% play money, that you're not afraid to lose, because you can get outsized gains with that 5%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, again, there's more, even if this person is not a real person, or they're not in an actual situation like this, they're bringing up points that, you know, there are a lot of people who actually go through something like that. And that's exactly what the Boglehead movement was supposed to target. It's the average person. And it's trying to also teach you at the same time, for example, the old way of doing things, you know, mutual funds back in those days, you know, the fees over time, they screw you on top of that. So you're getting that diversification, a professional investing for you. And they still can't even do as good as what you would do just passively, of course. Now things, you know, there's added nuance to how money is moving more passive. Now the majority of money is passive, and the implication of that. Mike Green does a good spiel on that, but you have to consider that Mike Green might be a little biased against it because he competes against index funds, by the way. So I take that, you know, into consideration, but some of his points are pretty interesting about it.
Like, I don't think passive will ever become this ultra mega dominant thing, just because there's always people out there that think they're going to beat the market. You buy individual stocks, and you look at freaking YouTube, it's pretty dominant with individual stock pickers. So I'm not worried in the slightest that everybody's going to be indexing. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah. There will always be that allure to, be the next Warren Buffett. There will always be that allure. And everyone always thinks it's them. They go like, I will be the next Warren Buffett and go do average 20% annualized returns for your entire life. Something crazy like that. That'd be insane.
Yeah. I think it was 19.7 last time.
Original. Now it's lower. Yeah. It's 19. But I remember back when it was 20 something.
I made 1,000% on Tesla, chump.
Mike Soro, go all in on Tesla.
I'm giving Lara some really good.
Mike,
that is officially financial advice from Mike.
Yeah.
That was your wife, bro. What's going on?
Why would we want solving the money problem in here? All of our heads would explode.
When I'm larger, I will try to encourage debate with these individuals. I think I need to be larger to encourage them to come on, but I really want to so bad have
Fabio. I'm telling you right now, that train wreck of an interview I did with that guy, that Tesla, and where I go, I'm going to start off this debate at a disadvantage and tell you my intrinsic value that I calculated is wrong. So is yours. No, my intrinsic value is correct. $1,500. Why? Because Tesla is the future, bro. For 3 hours, where I'm like, I don't believe Tesla is going to grow by that. Well, I keep telling you, I'm just supposed to believe you. Like, you don't have a crystal ball. It was so draining that I couldn't even do a video later that night. I was just sitting there by the end, like,
dude,
Christ.
It was a 3 hours live video, man.
Well, I
think
if I did it, I don't know how I'd handle it, because a little bit known fact about me, through my college years, I started a business in tutoring. So I tutored, many different levels of understanding around STEM topics, usually around math. And, I can sit down and explain something to someone infinitely, and I never lose patience with them. I know that, like, for example, if my brother were to do that, my brother's a mathematician, by the way, he would start yelling at you and call you an ape for not understanding calculus. He's like that.
But that's what that guy is going to do to you. For every time he's going to sit there when you explain it to him logically. If Tesla was selling for a lower price, I might buy it. And this is what I kept saying to him. I go, but right now, currently, it is too expensive. Well, if you look at it, then the forward PE is going to come down. Okay, well, that's not really how that works, but it's really just the earnings per share catching up with the stock price. But then when I said, okay, so what you're saying is Tesla is going to become cheaper in the future. Yes. Okay, why wouldn't I wait to buy it? Because you have to buy it now. It's overvalued and it's going to come on sale in the future. See, this is what people aren't getting. It's like you tell them a stock is overvalued and they think that it's never going to become undervalued. The market's irrational. It's like you don't know whether the market's going to stab you in the chest or offer you a sweetheart deal. And this is what the guy couldn't get. I guarantee you, even you, as patient and well thought out as you are, would have started to get frustrated at the end of that. Well, it's just saying, I don't
know how he stands us, man. I don't know how he tolerates us.
Yeah, well, no, and I'm sitting there going, telling him, look, all the assumptions I've made about Tesla will probably be proven wrong in the future, as yours will be too, because you can't predict the future. You can only make reasonable assumptions. And then me trying to explain, you have what you think is the bull thesis, mid-level, and the bear thesis on a stock. You invest on the bear thesis. Worst case scenario, am I going to lose money on the stock? He just wouldn't concede. And he still keeps coming on my channel to this day, arguing with me. He said Warren Buffett was a moron yesterday.
Dude,
Warren Buffett's not a good investor.
Oh my God.
for 3 hours. You took 3 hours of your life.
Yeah, it was 3 hours, long hours, explaining the same concepts one time and again.
Bro, it got so frustrating at a certain point. Am I speaking German to this dude?
I mean, the way I would go about it is kind of view it as a exposure to my audience to how someone like that would think, and I would just let them talk. I'll ask questions, Socratic method style. I won't try to convince them otherwise. I'll just ask like, oh, but what do you think about this? And I want to like really break down their thought process to its core, and then at one point when they can't answer the question, then a lot is revealed at that point, because then we start to understand, oh, you're just,
Fabio. But this is what he's going to do to you. This is what he's going to do.
I'm not saying I'm interviewing that guy. That guy sounds insane.
What this guy did, he would ask me a question, something about Tesla and some technology. Yeah. And I go, I don't know what that is. And then he goes, see, that doesn't prove you're right, you moron. Yeah. Like, just because there's a lot of things you could ask me about whatever company or technology. I'm like, I don't care. I just care about the cash flows and the earnings per share. That's what's paid to me. And then what are my assumptions going forward? But it was like every little thing with them is a dorm house lawyer trying to, you can't answer this question, therefore I'm right. Tesla's going to grow at 5 million% going forward till it's a $250 stock.
Yeah.
He actually said,
we have a very important question here, guys.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
The Fufu's gonna find out soon.
At the truck stop.
Strongman has a grower, not a shower.
Thank you for your
question. I saw one
comment.
I'm
a grower, so
you don't have to bring. Oh,
it is
inside scoop. I saw this comment.
Strongman
You don't have to bring it up.
13 inches soft.
13 inches.
26 inches hard.
What were you saying, Fabio?
I saw this comment. You don't have to bring it up or anything. It was about options, stop losses, limit orders, and quote unquote, you literally can't lose. Well, that actually echoes to, and I'll say this, it's kind of like a side comment. So at my alma mater, it's quite interesting. I went to something called the Young Investors Club. I don't know if every school has it. Just to show up to see what they teach these kids. And literally, I kid you not, there was a guy at the front of the classroom showing charts and going, you see this? It went down. This is bad. And then just going, you see this? This is what you want your stock to do. And it went up, and it's called the Young Investors Club. They literally teach kids to go into options and day trade stocks. And then I kid you not, this is the beautiful part. This kid comes up with his binder, and he shows like a picture of all of his trades. And he's like, I've made 74 trades this past year. And he's open about it. Like, he's completely honest. And I lost only 4% over the last year.
Is that going bull market too? The S&P's up 20%. Good job, bro.
This is the Young Investors Club.
Was Stock Mode teaching it?
No. And they tried to sell this book to all the kids there, and it was a day trading book, and I was like, what the heck?
It surprises me that a finance department or whatever would sponsor a freaking trading moron like that. You would think like the professors.
No, these are students. This is run by students. It's a student.
So there's no involvement with professors and stuff.
No. I think at one point, because of the name Young Investors Club, it may have actually been an investing club, but then it got corrupted. And now there's a guy who's dedicated to options. They pointed to this one kid, and he was like wearing glasses, and he's standing in the corner.
Whoa,
oh boy.
It is.
Whoa.
Who invited a dog on our channel?
It's Pug Nash.
Pug Nash.
Pug Nash in the house, motherfuckers.
Tesla to the moon, man.
La Tesla. Sign up for a Patreon, bro.
Are you driving a Tesla right now?
No, I drive a 1986 Lada.
What the hell? What is that?
That is one of the greatest cars ever made, bro. It's a Lada Niva. This thing will go everywhere.
Hey,
It's
Nash,
like an AK-47.
you're gonna invade
can't
Ukraine yourself personally?
He's driving his Tesla over to invade
Yo.
the Ukraine.
Yo, hold
He's
on,
gonna
guys.
do
There's
drone
too many of you. I can't hear anything. Chris, can you pull up an image of Lada Niva 1986 and show it to the audience? I kid you not, this is the best looking car you've ever seen, bro. The technology in this car is the mud flaps. That's as far as it goes, bro. It has
Lada
nothing
Niva.
electric, bro.
Oh, this is a sexy beast right here. Y'all are gonna
Bro,
love this.
this thing it's like an AK-47. You cannot be destroyed, bro. You can go anywhere with this thing.
I thought you were a big Tesla fan, man.
Oh,
What happened to your? Why didn't you
No,
buy?
bro. Lada is the Tesla killer. I'm just gonna tell you outright right now. No chance, bro. This thing is the Tesla killer, bro. And it is. So I'll tell you a story, a real quick story. So when I'm an old motherfucker, bro. So when I was 16, I was at my buddy's house. His parents were away, and we got hammered, as 16-year-old kids usually do in Russia. So his parents had one of those Niva Jeeps, and we decided to take it out on the spin. And eventually we found this construction site which resembled an off-road track, and we went crazy. At some point, we did the whole track in reverse just to see if it can, and it did. But what was actually funny that his dad came back the next day, and they were having breakfast. And his dad was like, yo, the neighbors called me. There were some lunatics fucking flying around in the construction site right in front of our house. His balls were shaking because he thought he was about to get like KGB style called out. And nothing happened, bro. Yeah,
So
he
how
just
old are you,
shaggy it out. I'm 40 years old, 1981, motherfucker.
Woo!
Wait, you're 40?
Yeah, I'm 40, bro. I just act like I'm 25, but I'm
You don't look
old-ass
40 at all.
motherfucker, bro.
I did not.
You have very youthful looks. You know, I would think
Thank
you'd
you,
be
sir.
like maybe
The dog years, it's not 40. In dog years, it's probably what, like it's probably like what, 7, 8 dog years, bro.
So, am I the first guy
yo,
to ever say that you looked like a pug? Do I get that honor?
No, I've never gotten this before. But what happened is initially when you said it, I was really offended. But then I went to the mirror and I was like, oh shit. This is right, bro. I was like, I'm making actual T-shirts with this shit, bro.
Hey, you better give me a cut of
Do it, man.
I'm gonna give you a cut, bro. If it happens, I'm gonna give you a cut. It's the thing is, I've never sold merch, so this might be like the first go round. I'll do the pug thing. But I did want to, on a serious note, I have to go in a minute. I'm doing a stream with CyberFam in a second, but I'm driving to the office. It's night over here. So I just want to tell you something real quick. So I'm 40. So I lived through the 2000 crisis, 2008 crisis. And one of the companies I was doing my research on when I was in school was actually Enron. The whole SPVs, if you're familiar, the special purpose vehicles where they flooded all the losses, they pulled up all the revenues from. So I basically know very intimately something that I think 99% of these new kids, like the tourists in the stock market, they don't know, which is what you guys are basically saying. In individual stocks, there's no risk-free or guaranteed shit at all. The only guaranteed thing is that you're going to die, you're going to pay taxes. Everything else is risky. Even a Tesla, even La Tesla, even any fucking stock can go to fucking zero. The people who invested in Enron, bro, in the 90s, Enron was the shit, bro. You guys, I don't know, Jay probably, and you, Chris, you probably remember that shit. That thing was like, it's like investing in fucking Google, bro. That thing is like a beast. And when it went down, it took within in flames. So I used to work for one of the big 4 companies. You probably, Chris, you know the 4: PwC, KPMG, EY, and Deloitte. So they used to be called the Big 5 back in the day, and the biggest one of them all was called Arthur Andersen. And the Enron collapse was so big, they literally took Arthur Andersen with them. So that thing, when it collapsed, the aftermath was insane. So the one thing I will tell you, if you are an index investor, which is, by the way, I agree with you, Warren Buffett, something says, like, repeatedly says that index investing is the way to go. In an index, there is absolutely 0% chance of you losing your money long term. It's a hack. If you pull up the S&P 500, you zoom out for 15 years, whatever, you cannot lose. It's like a cheat code in a video game. So it's impossible. When you go individual stocks, you gotta be prepared, like in a casino when you go and play. And it's a horrible analogy, right? Casino and the stock market. I hate it myself. But the mentality is like when you go, the reason I use this analogy is like when you go to a casino to play, you have to like mentally accept that you're going to lose the money. Otherwise, you're going to get crushed emotionally. And if you go for individual stocks, you got to embrace the fact that it might go to zero. Like I never think that a Tesla or a Palantir or any of the stocks I'm in love with, emotionally, they can not go to zero, bro. I sleep at night like, oh, Palantir.
I heard Tesla was coming out with dog food. Did you hear about that?
Dude, the one thing I will tell you about Tesla, there's every week, there's these idiots, bro, the Tesla phone, the Tesla spaceship, the Tesla dog food, there's a lot of this nonsense going around. There's a lot of bullshit, a lot of hype. But the thing is, like, I'll tell you something else. I'm not going to argue. I know you guys don't like Tesla, and that's fine. In fact, I think value investors, classic value investors, Tesla isn't the stock for them. It's too fucking risky. There's too much. You're betting on too much potential if you're a value investor. That's why Warren Buffett isn't in Tesla. But the thing with Tesla is, having said all that, and again, not arguing, I'm not trying to convince anybody. The thing with Tesla, if you just pull up the Q4 financials and you look at the efficiency, the crazy efficiency that they're showing, the margins, if you pull up the operating margin and you look at how much it actually went up, it's 3x. Even with the stock-based comp of Elon, from 5 to 15%, and if you just reduce the one-time items that was in Q4, the stock-based comp and the payroll taxes, it's like 18% operating margin. EBITDA has gone up. They're insanely efficient. You have to understand, like 1 million vehicles in the auto industry is nothing. 1 million vehicles, like look at how much Toyota puts up a year. It's really, with such a small number, they're incredibly efficient. They have a lot of cash, $18 billion in cash, if I'm not mistaken. Their cash flow is really nice. They managed to pull 2.7 billion in free cash flow, even after putting 2 billion in new factories. So I'm just saying that you might not like the valuation. You might say, well, this is too much to pay for a good company. But as a fundamental analysis, the company is fucking fire. You might say, well, too much of it is already priced in. That I can accept.
Yeah, but we're not.
Tom, I love Tesla, but not at this price. So do you reckon it's overpriced or?
Well, yeah. I don't know if it's overpriced or underpriced. The thing I'll tell you is that you guys like Warren Buffett here, and I also like Warren Buffett, but we disagree on certain things. You guys and I do. But there's one thing Warren Buffett also said, beyond the fact that index funds will make you rich. He also said that if you see a good company with good management and that executes, you just buy. You don't look at the price. That's also something. Also, on the other hand, I have this meme, Warren Buffett, the picture, and the text below, I never said this shit. So who knows if he fucking said it, bro? At this point, it's a deep fake. I don't know, bro. But all I'm saying is that I'm so impressed with Tesla. I'm so impressed with Palantir. I'm so impressed with Google, with NVIDIA. I want to be in those motherfuckers. And
yeah, but how much? What percentage?
But not at this price, man. Come on.
Yeah, it's a personal decision. I'm not evangelistic about it. Like, I don't think that if you're a value investor and there's nothing in it for you at the Palantir or the Tesla. It's just the volatility is going to drive you crazy, and there's too much upside priced in for that. But if you are a disruptive tech growth investor and you like living on that edge, that's probably a better fit for you. But it's such a personal decision. I don't know. Like, the thing is with PEs, PE is such a good metric to value companies. Valuing growth with PE is a little bit tricky because I'm not saying that it's completely wrong, but it's just a very limited metric at looking at potential. PE doesn't really give you potential. But again, it's even the DCF, bro. Any sort of analytical tool has so much subjectivity in it. To be honest, we all like to pretend as if it's some sort of objective. There's so much assumption, so much subjectivity. I mean, at the end of the day, we all have this almost emotional decisions that we try to rationalize with this so-called scientific methods. It is what it is. But all I can tell you is that I don't think anybody can argue that Tesla is okay. Tesla Q will, but they're fucking idiots. But I think even value investors that are saying I'm not buying Tesla, they're saying basically what you said, right, Alex? It's just too expensive. But the underlying fundamentals are fucking phenomenal. Yeah. It's just that a lot of it is really priced in.
We agree with that, but it's just at this price, you're baking in way too much growth. And if anything happens, and stuff can and does happen, you're not going to hit your numbers. So I mean,
there's
if
a
Yeah,
lot
like
of
what
growth
if
priced
Elon
in.
Musk died?
if I'm going to buy an individual stock, I think there's individual stocks out there with much greater potential for return. Maybe I'm wrong.
There's this whole theory of Warren
Tom.
Buffett, right, chasing the cigarette butts. You remember, and he made a lot of money doing that. That's fine. It just when you say and I say it's too much priced in, or I'm saying enough of it is priced in, it's like a subjective assumption about the company. At the end of the day, like what is too much?
Tom.
Like nobody. Yes. I can't
No,
hear you.
What I was going to say is I respect what you said. What?
There's something wrong with your internet. I can't hear you for some reason.
Bad time for bad internet.
Yeah.
All right, here, let me talk.
I did
All
want
right.
before
But
you
no,
get your
what
internet
you're
sorted.
saying about Tesla,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
what you're saying about
Nate,
Tesla
go.
is true. Like,
I guess I'll say.
I
mine.
guess
Can you hear me?
he's having
Okay,
technical
so-
problems.
Can you
Uh,
type it in the Can you type
yeah.
it in the chat or something like this so they can read out the question, Nate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Nate,
I'll
type
say-
it in the chat. Fabio.
Fabio, go.
Yeah.
So before
this,
he types in the question, can I ask you guys now? I'll read the interviewer for just a second.
Go for it.
I know that
Go
Chris
ahead.
hated my fucking video of basically, leave me Kevin alone. I know you hated it, but it's okay, bro. I expected you to do it. This video was like 30% at you.
I can tell.
Yeah. But dude, that's kind of, I don't care. But I do care about what you guys think about my interview with Kevin, because in the interview I tried to be objective, but I thought I asked him some difficult questions. It's just, what do you guys think about his responses and the way he handled it?
Well, dude,
I mean,
here's
honestly,
the
I didn't watch the entire thing, but I mean, I've been
Don't
saying
lie.
forever that Kevin has no idea. I can't watch an hour and 20 minutes of that, but I've been saying all along he has no idea what he's doing, and I don't care that he sold all his stocks. I don't give a crap, but it just illustrates the point that he can't go on YouTube and have millions of subscribers and be preaching just irresponsible investing advice.
leverage, and then going against what you're saying. Look, these people, I did a video, you probably didn't see it because my channel's smaller than Chris, and it's basically
Chris, can you send me his channel so I can check it out later?
Yeah. Well, and it's with the one interview with Amit, and this is where I completely disagree with you. It was not fair to Kevin's fans. People paid good money, and you look at the amount of money that you pay for his course. There is nothing that Kevin teaches that you can't find on a Boglehead website. And also, Kevin buys a lot of crappy stocks. So he says he's staying in the market. These people have come to rely on his advice. They paid him money. He turns around and does something completely different, which tells me he doesn't know what he's doing. So he's basically stealing from people. The guy's immoral. Like, I don't care. I don't care who needs to hear it. The guy is an immoral dirtbag. And I'm sorry if people don't want to hear that.
So Jake, can I ask you, did you watch the interview actually?
No, I haven't watched the interview. I try to limit my exposure to meat skin Kevin as much as possible.
Okay, so I'll tell you what my position is on this, and I'm not a Kevin hater, but I'll tell you what I told him to his face, and I'm very honest about what I think, even to his face. I told him, listen, I think the problem is that your analysis is totally valid. The way you explained why you sold out, it makes a lot of sense. We might not agree, but it's not illogical for me. It's not complete nonsense. Okay, I understand where you're going with this. The problem that I have is that same analysis was applicable a day earlier when you made the previous video where you said I'm staying. So none of these 8 factors that you pointed out or whatever actually changed in those 24 hours. So that kind of just makes me wonder what happened. And if this was basically you saying, well, I had a gut feeling, I had an intuition, and I felt like I had to do it, that's fine. That's okay. That's legit. It's your money. The problem is that I feel it devalues the value proposition of the course because you can't repackage and resell digital intuition. You can't sell that, because if that's not in the course and that's how you operate and people want to kind of work like you do, the value isn't there. And I told it to his face, and he obviously didn't agree with me. He gave his response, and you can watch the interview and check it out. But I feel like it takes a little bit away. I don't think that, with courses, I'm not a big fan of courses. You know, I have a Patreon, but I don't have a course, and I never will have, and never had. But I'll tell you what about courses and repackaging existing information on the internet and kind of re-editing it so it makes sense. It's kind of par for the course. Every course seller does that to an extent. I mean, there's very few courses where it's not just something that's, you know, they go on. A lot of the shit is free, even some of the most expensive courses.
Well,
sorry, Fabio, go. I've cut you off.
It's okay. Well, I mean, I guess from my perspective, because in my personal portfolio, what I kind of do is I only do individual stocks, and then I preach that index funds are good for the average investor. But I want to start with first, mad respect for coming on here. By the way, I just want to say that.
Dude, Chris will tell you I'm a fan, bro. I'm in every video.
And then the other thing is, for example, going back to the Tesla thing, because I wanted to say that I'm a Tesla driver. I have a Tesla. I love the car. I like the company. I agree with everything you said.
FSD?
Sorry? Model 3. Model 3.
No,
what?
you get full self-driving beta?
Yeah. Yes.
And how is it?
It's good. It's good. It's very good.
Nice.
There's one corner that
we don't have
sucks
FSD
at in my neighborhood, but it's good. I can film a video in the car one day, and I'll do it. I'll just just like do that.
Fabio, you bought a Tesla. We can't let you on anymore.
Yeah.
To be honest, but to be fair, it was acquired before I started making videos, and I agree with. I also adding on to what you guys are saying. That's why, for example, I started my channel. It's to add all the stuff that's already for free, but I guess it's not packaged. But I'm just going to do it for free on my channel, and that's what I do, and kind of share my work experience, and then showcase that on the channel and talk about different stocks, which I think you have the same or somewhat of the same opinion on Baba, by the way. But
I hate Baba.
What? Alibaba?
Yeah, I don't invest in the Chinese stock whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, I think we come to the same conclusion for two different reasons, which is interesting, because I think you brought the perspective of like the USSR. But you know,
for
I did.
me, it's the reason I don't invest in Chinese stock, just in the sentence, sorry to cut you off, is because the risk is too big. The underlying geopolitical risks are too big to invest in the country.
Yeah. Well, I add a little bit also to that, because, for example, I can think you can discount the risk on international stocks, even with geopolitical risk. For example, one of my investments is Gazprom. I've held that one since about November 2020. Even though, you know, there is the political risk of the Russian government, right? But I think the price I got it, I was kind of pricing in a lot of that away. Okay. And then, for example, there are some risks, but I think a lot of people don't go deep enough into some of the risks in explaining it. But going back to Tesla real quick, yeah, I agree with the fundamentals. The fundamentals of Tesla are strong. They're growing, they're improving. But however, how much of that is priced in is where I come and disagree. But I respect disagreement. For example, I disagree with other people, and I'm fine with them on Alibaba, right? Because that's what makes a market. I'm invested in Baba for a short-term trade, but that's kind of like
if Baba is anywhere else, if Baba is in Taiwan, even in Taiwan, which is fucking on the brink of war.
Yeah.
If Baba is in any other country, it's a $300 stock based on the fundamentals, bro. The company is phenomenal in every aspect, even with the carving out of that financial business that they carved out. It's a fucking
financial,
beast.
20.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If Ant IPO goes through, we might not be having this conversation, because nobody would. This whole geopolitical analysis might not even happen, because everything was riding so smooth before that. Motherfuckers fucking, replace Jack Ma with the bot, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't know what they did to the dude, bro. Who knows? But at the end of the day, what you're saying is what Jay said, and it's completely fair. Like, how much is too much as far as future potential priced into the stock price? It's a very subjective decision, in my opinion, bro.
Exactly.
Guys like Dave Lee, who I had on my channel yesterday, or even I think I posted it today. They see like, you don't want to hear his valuation. I mean, it's probably 5-6x. I also have very high valuation, but again, it's you probably don't want to hear my valuation.
No,
go ahead.
Listen, man. Look,
Tom, for me to have an individual stock, then it has to make sense fundamentally. And right now, Tesla is not there. I love the products. I love the company. I love Elon Musk.
Analysis.
Yeah,
but
everything is subjective. But in my subjective opinion, I don't have the fundamentals to acquire Tesla right now. But I love the company, and if it drops
I'll tell
down
you
to
how I
a
look at
price,
Tesla
it makes
without
sense.
the
Then I'll
price.
get it. And as for me to spin Kevin, then I actually
I don't
agree
want to
with Jay.
listen. I don't
If
want to talk about
he
Kevin because he's not here and it's not fair to him.
No,
You
I'm
guys
just
should
gonna
bring him
tell you
on.
my opinion. My very fast. My opinion is that if he preaches something and he does another thing, then he loses credibility. That's all I'm gonna say
Yeah,
about
that's
him.
fair. But
Yeah.
you guys should bring him on. I don't know if he will come or not, but I'll tell you something about
Dude,
Tesla. I
I
look
would
at
be
Tesla in a
more,
very specific. Hold on a second.
I
I'll
would
just
be
explain
more
something.
than
I
happy
get
to
on in
talk
2
to him.
minutes.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
would be
think I don't.
more than happy to talk to meet Kevin, and I would be polite with him, but I
Yeah.
would lay out all of my disagreements with him in honest form.
That's exactly what
it-
I said you guys should do in my video yesterday, where I said, "Hey, just
Yeah,
be
and
civil about it,
like
talk
I said,
criticism, and just be cool."
Hey,
our
Tom,
channels.
Hold
to
on a second.
my
I just want to share
channel.
a thought before I go about Tesla. Something really important.
I gotta ask a
when I
question
have,
too.
yes. Before I go, Nate, you ask a quick question.
Okay.
So when I look at Tesla, guys, look at Tesla again. It's not going to convince any of you because it doesn't solve your underlying issue with the stock. Love the company, hate the stock price kind of argument, which is you can't argue with that. It's like religion or politics. It is what it is. But I'll tell you what. I look at Tesla and I look at hard demand, which basically means the ability to raise prices. Check. Cash flow positivity up to wazoo. Check. Production capacity double on what they are right now. Already built in as far as the capex expenditures. Check. I look at growth. Check. I look at margins. So when I look at this company as kind of, does it have the chops to be like a massive disruptor in 10 years? And I don't see a reason why it's not. But again, you never, with individual stocks, you never fucking know, bro.
Well, I mean, look,
You never
before you go, our main criticism isn't, we're not against speculating on stocks. If you want to buy Tesla, you want to keep it a small part of your portfolio.
First of all, it's called La Tesla, please.
La Tesla.
La Tesla.
But our main criticism of these YouTube channels is a lot of people just pump Tesla, and they basically imply that you should have it as a massive or even 100% of your portfolio, which is extremely dangerous. That's our main criticism of YouTube. We don't care if you speculate. That's fine. I mean, you totally can. But
Tesla is about 10% of my portfolio, and that's very high.
Yeah, but are you clear about that on your channel? Like, do you specifically say?
I said it in an interview a few days ago. I laid out exactly that multiple times.
Okay, that's not that bad, but like I said, you know all the people on YouTube that I mean,
bro,
like,
I have something worse.
Problem. Holy crap!
I'm 40% in Palantir. That's much worse. Believe me.
Oh god,
that's insanity.
Yeah.
It's not even about Tesla.
Are you a hypester, Tom?
What, a hypester?
Yeah.
Are you hyping?
I don't know if you watch Everything Money, but that's Paul's new word for people that.
Oh, okay. So let me tell you something about this channel. There's this one dude and his two boyfriends, beta males, gimps who live in his basement, and they're like, "Oh, Paul, Paul, teach us, Paul." And then Paul goes through his fucking stock screener, pretends like as if it's some sort of an analytical investment tool. It's a fucking free screener I can get anywhere, bro. 8 pillars of garbage, bro. Fuck these guys.
Has everything?
But he has a system, man.
You?
But the system is just a fucking screener, bro. It's a screener. It's just
but at least
you can't invest based on the screener.
But he says not to do that, though. In all fairness, Paul says just because this is an 8-pillar stock, and I ran the discounted cash flow and the free cash flow, and it looks like a buy, you still have more work to do.
But let me ask you a question. Okay, I want to ask you a question. In any of their videos, does it not bother you? They never talk about what the underlying business of the company, what's the TAM, what the company actually does. They don't even know half the stocks, what the fuck the company is doing.
Because what they're doing,
he says
is eliminating stocks. Yeah. They're eliminating. There's 10,000 stocks in the world. You have to have a metric to eliminate them quickly. I do the same thing.
He always says that you have to go and do your own research and read 10K things and everything.
And it's true. It is true. But all I'm saying is this: it's a stock screener. That's you just define stock screening. You eliminate shit stocks by doing a screener. But the real research, the real work, the real analytical work starts when you actually dive into the financials, into the business model. You look at the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities. You actually analyze the business, the total addressable market, the potential. Like the business analysis is like 60% of the work.
Yeah,
they don't do that on their channel, but I'm bothered by that.
Yeah, but the thing is, man, is he has actually said that on numerous occasions. That once, if you think that stock is a buy, now's the time you got to go into the 10K and start doing the research. That's all they're saying on that. I'm not saying
But I
to
don't.
buy.
I wouldn't watch.
Buy.
For me, there's no alpha in somebody who's just showing me a screener. I can do that myself for free. There's plenty of screeners out there.
All right, Tom, I have a question for you.
Go ahead, Nick.
Okay, so the question I was going to ask earlier, I hate to like call super far back, but you said you coined a phrase that you think that Warren Buffett said about like if a company has good management, you should just buy it and not look at the price. You said that, right?
But then I also said that it might have. I never said that shit. You remember? Oh, you were not on.
No,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure somebody in the comments like commented on that shit too. I'm pretty sure you said that.
No, I did, but then I said that there's this meme that Warren Buffett. I never said that shit.
Okay, yeah, but
Never
basically,
mind. Okay, ask your question.
okay, the question is, this is something that Jay has raised. It's a really solid question that a lot of people don't have an answer to. Is, you know, while a company might be great because of its leadership, like you can believe in Elon, like I'm a big fan of him, but like what if unfortunately he passes away or he gets really sick? That's something that could really, really take a toll on Tesla, even if you strongly believe in its fundamentals and leadership.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest risks for Tesla and a lot of other companies. But key man risks. A company it's the same thing with. You can make the same argument for Palantir and Peter Thiel and Alex Karp. A lot of these companies that are kind of a one-man show or very close to that, key man risk is a huge, huge problem, bro. The thing is, you have to ask yourself this question. And again, I got really just 30 seconds. I got to run up and set up for my stream. So the thing is, you got to ask yourself a question: is if this guy is a bozo or he's insecure, he's not preparing a succession plan that will keep the company afloat. But if he is an AAA executive who's secure enough to do that, he probably has a succession plan. So the question is, like, what kind of guy is that? If that's Elon or Karp or Thiel or whoever, I honestly don't know. I can just agree with you that key man risk for a company that's like Larry Ellison at Oracle, probably not a huge risk anymore because it's basically step aside. There's a lot of like more like Microsoft isn't there anymore. If the further you go down the company's maturity, that thing gets eliminated. And because Tesla is still like a young company in that sense, they're only like realistically like what, a decade old plus minus. They're not there yet. They're not the level of the Oracle or Microsoft as far as, you know, it's not a self-sustaining, like it's not like, you know, remember the movie Fight Club? And when the guy got like it kept on going without him. Tesla doesn't have that yet. Yeah, Tesla doesn't have that yet for sure.
Well, that also goes to that for me, that adds to the risk because I like the Peter Lynch quote. Pick a company any idiot can run because sooner or later, any idiot will run it. And that's one of the other factors in Tesla. But it's like I tell people, if everybody was sitting here buying Tesla at even maybe just as a quick metric, a 70 PE ratio, if it improves to that over time, I'm probably still not going to buy it at that, but I'm not going to look at you and tell you that's stupid. Where I'm telling people they're stupid is when you're buying Tesla with 1,000 price to earnings ratio, because that just creates more risk. It makes it riskier because if you don't hit the numbers every year, it's not going to work out.
The thing is, they kind of do, Jay, at least in the past few years.
I agree that they've done well for the past 2 years, but that doesn't mean that it's going to go out into the future. And this is, for me, in my thought process, the problem with Tesla people is if you even question the narrative, they turn into a bunch of cultists that want to kill you. And
that kind of echo chamber culture is never healthy for smart decisions. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I really gotta go. I'm gonna be late tomorrow. Check it out. I'll tell you what. Just before I go, one last thing. So the thing is, with the Tesla, look, it's not the best thing that ever existed. I don't believe that. I just think it's a strong company with a strong management with an insane amount of upside. The thing is, so far, at least in the last 3 years, they kept proving people wrong, especially the doubters. Is there a guarantee they're going to keep on that same level or even higher? Nobody fucking knows. People who pretend they do, they don't. I'm betting on the fact that, sorry, it's not a fact. I'm betting on the probability that it will, because I think it's more probable than not. But it's just something that not everybody should take as an investment consideration. I mean, you can make good money by playing solid investments. You can go, like, I don't do VT, I do S&P 500. It's a big part of my portfolio as well. So
yeah, but you wouldn't get an argument with out of me on that. I would be like, okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah. It's just, what it becomes in the Tesla space is it's like, it just.
Do you think it's more probable than not that they will continue, or do you think it's less probable than not?
I don't think Tesla's going anywhere. To me, it becomes about the price that I'm picking up and what kind of growth I'm buying. And at this point,
stock price, they've baked in, 40-50% revenue growth rates going into perpetuity. Yeah. It takes one quarter where those growth rates.
Guys,
you gotta look at the sector and the competitors, man. It's
guys,
insane.
after the stream, go and try and research. So my theory on this, I can't elaborate on this right now. Look at the margins they're going to collect on FSD. So assuming there's going to be a licensing, so FSD, when it comes out, and you have to assume execution, and they actually pull out the actual final product, which they haven't yet. So FSD comes out of beta. So you have to kind of guesstimate how much units are going to go to customers and how much will be licensed out to other OEMs, because there's really no other competitors in the market that level. Maybe Mobileye is the closest one, and even Mobileye had some issues because they got stuck with basically betting on LiDARs, which they themselves kind of admitting it's a mistake. But again, not to get too technical, because I'm not a fucking engineer, I don't fucking know. All I'm saying, it seems like there's a demand for the FSD if it actually is operational. So if they're licensing out, they're selling it to the customers, the margins on this motherfucker is going to be like 80%. It's not going to be.
What happens? What happens with this full self-driving? And I have doubts that it's going to be anytime soon, anyways. And that comes from reading Ray Kurzweil's books. But what happens the first time full self-driving messes up and kills somebody? The government comes in and it regulates it. And then you're not going to see it for 10 years at minimum. And that's a chance to be priced in. People keep saying
a lot of assumptions built into the sentence. There's just the government has not really proven to be very. I mean, you're betting on some horrific case scenario that leads to some regulation that leads.
I'm not betting on anything because I don't know.
I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out that this
is a risk.
It is a risk, but there's endless amounts of risks. The question I ask myself is: this probable or not? And there's always this risk which you describe, but I mean, I don't think it's probable enough for me to not invest because of something that might happen. But again, I completely agree with you that for a value investor, you look at the P ratio that I don't even know, like over 100, bro. No value investor will invest in over 100.
That's not the only thing I'm looking at. When you just take its most recent cash flow and you use a multiple of 20, you get about 56 billion, and then you divide it by the shares outstanding. You're looking at $45. Now, is that going to deter me if the stock price is $90? Probably not. But taken with every other metric I look at, like, this is just too far outside of the metrics I personally use to even consider it.
All right.
I hear that, man. I got to run though. I'm sorry.
I want to ask you real quick before you go. What's the target market cap you think of Tesla? And I'm going to do a video take on Tesla. Just like
I said, it's a $1,500 stock today.
1,500. All right.
You guys are not going to like that take.
No. I'll take it seriously. I'll take the next couple of days. I'll do a Tesla video and pump it out the next day.
Yeah, just go crazy, bash me, bro.
Tom, thanks for coming in, man. Yeah. Deep respect for that.
Hey. I was just gonna say, look, for the people who are like, you should have been rude to him. If Kevin came on here, as much as I don't like the guy and would tell him I don't like him, I would be polite to him.
I'm actually gonna try to set that up. Where I'll DM him because I'm surprised it was actually him. I thought it was a troll.
But, well, I'm also gonna say this. I respect what he just did there. That takes balls.
Yeah.
So exactly. I mean, because there was a guy in there balls deep going, well, how come you weren't rude to the guy? Well, the guy requested to come on here. I'm not going to be rude to him. I will make videos mocking what I don't agree with, but I'm not mean for the sake of being mean, even if I don't agree with somebody. Came on, he was very polite to me. I'm not going to turn around and be rude to somebody in that situation.
If Kevin,
it is called education, Jay. We have education.
Even that guy I'm going with in the comments that came on my channel, if he wanted to do another video and he agreed to be nice and consider points of views, I would still do it with him, as much as the dude annoyed the ever-loving crap out of me. But like I said before, I'm just repeating myself. That takes a lot of balls, what Tom Nash just did right there. And I respect that. So I don't agree with him on any of his stock picks, but I respect what he just did.
Yeah. All right, guys, we got to close this out. Thank you, High Rye, for the
All right.
Thanks,
I'm gonna go buy a
man.
can of dip now. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed Tom Nash coming on. Maybe I'll get him on again and we can have a, I don't know, we can debate anything. But
Meat spin Kevin next.
oh, I'll DM Tom, see if I can get Kevin on.
Meat
Probably
spin.
not, but
Meat
Well, I'll
spin.
tell Kevin.
We're gonna be nice, man.
I'll
if he
tell
comes
Kevin
in.
flat out, or
comes on.
tell him this. If he comes on, I will be polite to him. I will dial back my mocking of him on the internet. But I'm
Meat
still going to
spin.
tell him. I'm still going to tell him the whole time. Like, I think his course thing is scummy.
Meat spin.
I'm actually thinking about reacting in a good way to the people I like. So I'm gonna change it a bit. Let's see how it goes.
look at this guy talking trash. Tom Nash owned us, apparently. Look, there's still
Yeah,
people
he
out
did.
there to have like a good debate. All right. I mean,
Well,
if you want
Yeah,
to
I
come
just
on-
changed my mind, man. I'm gonna go all in
Yeah,
on
that's,
Tesla.
dude, I've already sold my VT and I'm going
Yeah.
balls deep into Tesla. That's how hard I got owned.
Yeah, talking in circles. Talking in circles doesn't equal getting owned.
Yeah.
Elon is
Well,
my god, man.
even when someone comes on, you sometimes have to just let them discuss, let them share their ideas, and you just take a step back and kind of just listen so that the audience can take it all in. But that's I think that's fine. There were some things I wanted to say about Everything Money, but we don't have time. So
Yeah, dude, I have my
You got
complaints
5
about
minutes,
everything.
Fabio. Go.
Yeah.
Fabio,
I
you
know.
got 5 minutes. Go.
when you guys were talking about Everything Money, I have some things I guess I could say about him. But yeah, he has some points that are quite valid. And that's kind of my main criticism of Everything Money, that they're selling a product that is extraordinarily easy to produce. Like their version of the model.
I made it.
Yeah, their version of
Yeah,
the
he
model.
made it,
I was
yeah.
debating, because I think it's kind of weird that they're even selling that for. I have a huge problems with its accuracy over long periods of time. I feel like I could just like replicate it real quick. I mean, Strongman replicated it. I took a look at how they calculate things. There's a lot of interesting ways in which they do it, because I know how they do it, because I reverse engineered it, and there's some big assumptions that they're making in the back end. They're kind of like basic, right? And then some things that they can't really figure out for some reason. I don't know why. In terms of like the shares, I still don't know. Have they figured that out yet? Have they put that back? Yeah, you see, like, and then they're selling it, and then all the hard part that was done was basically coding it, and then even the website looks kind of basic. I don't know why they paid 100-something thousand. I'm working right now with developers, and it does not. I don't know how they got scammed. I can tell you that, or they're lying about how much money they put into it.
And
That's probably the second thing.
Yeah.
dude,
Fabio, but it is the case of the lesser of two evil. Well, more evils, because if you compare Everything Money, their process, and
You're
Jeremy LeFoufoul's.
No, you're absolutely right.
yes.
Which is why I don't overtly say anything bad about them. But I'm saying like the $30 a month for what they produced is. I don't know. Like basically in math, right? The greater, and for anyone who's a mathematician out there, I'm not a mathematician, but I have a sibling who is one, and I dabble a lot in math. I tutored STEM for a long time in college level. The greater the amount of assumptions you begin to make, the wider the not the wider expectations, the wider the results are going to be. And some of the calculations that they're utilizing are very rudimentary and basic. So I question the longevity of its accuracy of such a model. And there's so many different ways in which you can design a model that you have to be really careful, because if you're not careful, you're gonna get what you get, right? You're gonna get what you designed. And I know that, for example, Paul is a real estate guy getting into stocks. Sounds familiar, right? He's a real estate guy getting into stocks.
I think I know somebody that did that.
Yeah, you think you know somebody. But no, the model that they designed, anyone can make from home in an Excel. Anyone can make, okay?
Oh
he's here.
shit! Nice.
Kevin, you're rich, bro. You need to donate a lot more than that.
Yeah, what's that? $20.
Hey,
man.
Kevin, if you're watching, you can come on the channel. We can have a chat, and I won't be a dick. Okay? That's an offer, but you'll have to contact me about that.
Hey, Fabio,
Yeah.
you should change your name to Meat Spin Mindset.
Meat spin mindset. You know what?
Just
I'll
in
do it. I'll do
honor
it.
in honor of Meat Spin Kevin. Meat Spin Mindset.
Kevin, I want $1,000 right now.
$1,000.
I will sell out and never talk about you again if you give me $1,000.
If you throw $1,000,
Oh, man.
Chef, you can throw it at fucking Strongman.
He's typing it right now. $1,000.
Chris, don't promise something you won't do, man. Come on.
Dude, if he wants to come on, let him on.
Dude. Oh,
Yeah. Come on, man. Come on, me.
Dude,
I mean,
what if-
not today. I'm freaking tired.
Dude, what if Kevin has just been watching the whole time?
He probably has.
Maybe.
Mhm.
All right, guys, that's about it. Thank you for your generous donation. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. I'm going to go buy I might put this towards your stock course.
Tattooed nutsack.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Cheers.